So, this is something that happened about a year ago. I have never believed in the paranormal or anything like that. But after this, I don't even know what to believe. This takes place in Northern Europe, where I just happen to live. Be me, 18. Just got a driving license, so really excited about driving and doing shit that requires a car. Parents have a mansion-type place and campgrounds in the woods, which they sometimes rent out. Summer just started, but no one is renting the place for the next week. Invite 6 friends to stay in the mansion for a few days, smoke some weed, drink, etc. We have 2 cars, one SUV, and my shitty 15-year-old Honda Civic. I should mention that the mansion and all the shit sits on a huge plot of land, and it's pretty deep in the woods. The nearest road is about 3 kilometers, or 2 miles away, so it's pretty isolated. Arrive at the place. It's even nicer than I remember. Everyone is hyped. We settle in and start making plans. We agree on going hiking. It was about 5 p.m., so we had a lot of time until the sun sets. Smoke some blunts and drink a bit, pack more weed and drinks, and go exploring. We walk around the woods for at least 5 hours. We were so stoned, so didn't really realize it. Suddenly, get a weird feeling like somebody is watching, but brush it off as paranoia from the weed. Sun starts setting, so we start going back. At some point, I notice one of us is missing. Start calling the guy, but there's no service. We are calling his name and slowly going back. We find him on the campgrounds, passed out. He is a lightweight, so he probably just drank too much. Take him to the mansion and put him to bed. Make a huge bonfire and smoke some more. It was about 2 a.m. now. The guy wakes up. We ask him how he got to the campgrounds. Says he got really messed up and started feeling weird and paranoid, so he just wandered off. But he didn't know how he got back though. So we all just chill next to the fire, when suddenly, we hear a really high-pitched scream. It's not human, that's for sure. Brush it off as a fox or something else. The girls get really scared though. I should mention that there are 4 guys and 3 girls, not including me. Most of them are underage, but me, a girl, and my best friend are 18. We all go to sleep at 3 a.m. after hearing the screams a few more times. But this time they were really faint, so only me and another guy heard it. We wake up the next morning, and the guy who went missing the other night is missing again. Let's just call him Mike. Mike is missing again. We start calling for him, but his phone is at the mansion. We search for him and find him at the camping site again. Think he's pulling a prank on us and give him shit for it. He says he doesn't know how he got there again. We find it hard to believe and tell him not to do this kind of shit. Needed some supplies, so me, Mike, and my best friend drove to the nearest shop, which is about 35 kilometers away. We were in the shop for a good hour, and by the time we got back, everyone was already fucked up. Start getting bored, so we just start searching around in the mansion's basement. There's a lot of old cool shit there. Find 2 World War II era guns, ammo, swords, and a lot of other weird shit. There is a lot of guns from World War II in my country, since Russia and Germany had battles here. Best friend is kind of a gun enthusiast. He cleans and fixes the guns up. There was a Mosin Nagant and an M1 911. We start shooting in the camping ground and having fun. Night comes around, so time for a bonfire again. We start smoking a bong near the fire and talking about crazy shit. We hear the high-pitched screams again, and this time, they are super close. So we load up the guns and chill. We know it's just an animal, but better to be safe than sorry. A while goes by, many people go to sleep, so it's just me, my best friend, Mike, and another guy. Let's call him Josh. Josh is a massive pussy. He won't even go into a room when it's dark, so he gets really paranoid. So as we listen to the screams, Josh wants all of us to go indoors. Just because he is scared and doesn't want us to be eaten, or something. We give him a lot of shit, but eventually do go inside. We chill for a while until we see a massive shadow in the front door window, about 30 meters from the house. It looks exactly like a person, but just bigger. and its stance is really weird. All of us get scared, but best friend steps outside with his gun and asks the shadow some questions. Suddenly, we hear a scream and running footsteps. It's my best friend. He says to lock all doors and windows. We ask him what's up, but he doesn't want to tell us. We unlock all of the doors, windows, and etc., but don't wake anyone else up because we don't want to frighten the others. I try to get my best friend to talk, but he just doesn't want to tell us what he saw. After a while, all of us just spamming him with questions, he just screams, "It had no face." We all get freaked the fuck out. This guy doesn't frighten easily. He is a massive guy, has been bodybuilding for a few years, and it's about 6 foot 3 inches tall. I have never seen him in this state. Decide to get the fuck out of there the first thing in the morning, pack all of our shit, but it's still about 2 a.m., so we have a lot of time. We decide not to sleep just because we're afraid. Mike, me, and Josh sit in the living room nearest to the door. Best friend is just DEFCON 1, scanning all of the doors and windows. Tell him to calm down and think about the possibilities. It was dark, he was stoned, maybe it was just a random guy. We all decide to go outside with flashlights and guns to check the place out. Josh doesn't want to come since he is a pussy. We tell him to lock up after us and only let us in. Go outside and wander near the campsite. Find massive footprints. Not boot prints, just naked footprints in the mud, heading to the mansion. We are about 100 meters away from the mansion when we all see it. It's standing next to the bonfire place. The coals are still hot and illuminating some light, so we could see it well. Faceless, holes where the eyes should be, no mouth, but has the ability to move its jaw. We see the jaw dropping and the skin stretching where the mouth should be. Start running fast as fuck. Look behind me and see Mike and best friend doing the same thing. Look back at the fireplace, and it's not there, but see shadows moving next to the mansion's entrance. Run up to the door and knock as hard as possible. Josh runs up to the door, and it's just pale, white as a ghost. We go in but notice that Mike is not here. Ask Josh if he saw Mike from the windows. He says no, but he saw the thing. It was about 20 meters away from him. We freak the fuck out and start screaming Mike's name through the open windows. Decide to go outside again, just to find him. Wake up all of the people and say that Mike is missing. But don't tell them about the thing. All the guys except Josh come searching for Mike. We go to the camping grounds and see him on a bench with the thing right next to Mike. It notices us, screams, and just disappears. To this day, everyone who was there say they saw and heard it. Try to wake up Mike, but he's knocked out. Carry him back to the mansion and lock the doors. Mike wakes up screaming like hell and says that he remembers everything. The first time he went missing, he met the thing. When it disappeared that night, he said he met it outside, but wasn't scared. It just seemed like a dream to him, and this time it was exactly the same. Almost as if it was controlling his mind. We tell the girls about it, but they don't believe us. They just think that we dropped acid. Get out of there the first thing in the morning, and haven't gone back since.